Alright, now it's time for some more casually exploring the out-of-bounds things of places with Azjol-Nerub. I think that's what this one's called. I'm really bad at pronouncing just names in general, especially ones with weird pronunciations. I'm going to be looking at the two Nerubian Dungeons because apparently, if I'm remembering this correctly, when Wrath of the Lich King was first in beta, they had planned on turning the Nerubian cities into a zone. So they had a ton of stuff done with it, a whole bunch of artwork. And then they eventually scrapped that and just turned them into two dungeons instead. So there should be a lot to explore in those two dungeons. Someone suggested that in my last video, and I thought that's a good idea. I should also probably mention in this one, at the beginning of my last one, I said that this was an idea I had from another YouTuber. A lot of people assumed I was talking about Haven Games. I can understand that assumption now that I think about it, because he did something very similar to this. I was actually talking about some other guy named Skis. He does boundary break stuff and a whole bunch of different video games. None of them are WoW. So mine are going to be more like his. Super casual, not super well edited, or I'm going to explore the whole thing with my tools to go out of bounds and through walls, and then I'll just cut it together and show you guys what I thought was the most interesting. So first off, I'm going to take a look at the entrance. Outside of the actual entrance itself, you can see, this is the entrance to the dungeon. So when you go in here, you can actually see the outside. It's oh look, it's the summoning stone. It's everything that it looks like from outside, but it's actually just fake. It's not really the outside. In fact, if you go up here, you can see the whole dungeon. And if I go into the wall, it just turns into that. So from right here, I can see everything, and this would actually make a pretty good thumbnail now that I think about it. Alright, so I got lost, and I had to restart it. That happens sometimes when I go too far into the wall, and I can't find my way back because there's no landmarks. Alright, now let's go into the dungeon itself. Wait, is this where you're supposed to go? I think so. Alright, so first, let's go into the walls and see what the floor looks like. I had to change the name of my last video into what Orgrimmar floors look like. I think I already explored this part right here, and there's really nothing interesting about this. Let's explore over here to the places that are usually blocked off from players. Ooh, look at this cave wall. It's obviously a painting if you get close enough to it. And you hit a wall. Yep. I don't see this. Is this very often in dungeons? Do they just draw a wall like this to make it look bigger than it is? Because I thought this place looked a lot bigger than it did before I actually, took a look at it. And take a look at the walls on the way down. Oh, look, there's another painted wall over there. Man, this place is pretty big. Alright, usually when you fall down here, you don't actually get to see this. So let's take a look at this. And there's nothing. It's all just for show. It's kind of what I was expecting, though. Man, you can barely even tell they're painted from far away. It just looks like they blend in with the background. Okay, that's enough of that. Let's go continue on into the dungeon. I don't think I'd ever look up on this thing before. Whoa, this is pulsing? Wow, things you never notice when you're just kind of speedrunning the place. Ooh, what's inside this? Oh, there's nothing in there. It's just the thing itself moves. Because, there's quests where you have to break open these webs, and I assume, when you break them open, it just transforms into something else, so there's not actually anything inside. Okay, so this is Ahn'kah's room. Okay, well, there isn't much down there besides what you can see normally. Okay, now let's come over here. It looks like this is maybe blocked off. I don't know. Okay, I think that's it for Azjol-Nerub. Now let's go to Ahn'kahet, I think it's called. Alright, next up we've got Ahn'kahet, I think. And this place is massive. Holy crap, there's an entire building over there. Wow, this is a lot to explore. Way more than the other place. The other place looks like a tiny dungeon compared to it, and I thought the other one was pretty big. First up, let's take a look at the entrance. If you go through the entrance, you can see nothing much. but oh, never mind. This place is gigantic. Holy crap, this is all behind behind the dungeon where no one will ever see it. Look at all that landscape. In fact, I gotta increase the speed just so I can see stuff. Alright, I went ahead and doubled the speed I was at, and it still seems a little bit too slow for this. Because it's just massive. Yeah, you can definitely tell like this was supposed to be something way bigger, since this is still like behind the entrance, something you'll never see in game. And look at all of this. This is massive. Let's go through the wall, see what that looks like. It's just a wall. I don't know what I was expecting. It's just a normal wall. Okay, and look at this little water texture. Wow, they made sure to put water in a place that no one will ever see. As well as giant ass rocks and stuff. It reminds me a lot of Deepholm, now that I think about it. Not exactly, just like the color and a whole bunch of rocks and it being underground. Okay, so behind the dungeon, it's a lot bigger than I thought it would be. This is probably bigger, like behind the dungeon is probably bigger than the last dungeon I was in. I thought that one was pretty big. Man, I just didn't know. I was ignorant. I didn't know. Even going as fast as I am, it's just too big. I assume this is the dungeon where they were going to turn it into a zone and then, you know, abandon it and just turn it into a dungeon, because this is way too big for a dungeon. You know, outside of dungeons which use zones in them, like Dragon Soul, the raid, it's basically just Dragon Blight. Man, this reminds me a lot of Orgrimmar. Yeah, this is more like a zone design than it is a dungeon, because things are actually going underground. I didn't see that at all in the last dungeon. Everything was like, you know, set perfectly. And this one has lots of textures going underground, like happened over in Orgrimmar. Whoa, look at that. Is there lava in this dungeon? I don't remember that. I mean, obviously there is, because look at this. Alright, now let's look at this lava and see how far it goes underground. Whoa, if I follow it too far though, I'm gonna get lost, so I'm gonna backtrack. Is this like a summoning stone? Or is it just a normal rock that just is in the shape of one? Man, I feel bad for the artist who worked on this, and then it just got, you know, put into a zone that no one will ever see. And you'd think they'd like cut it a little bit, or they probably did. This is probably a lot bigger, and this is just like, you know, the cut version of it. Wow, this... Look at the textures don't overlap. You can tell this is like just a cutting room job thing. I didn't expect anyone to ever see this before. So you can tell that, you know, those kinds of waters are just like textures that look like water. This confirms it, seeing them not match up like that. That's pretty funny. Alright, I reset. I'm back at the entrance again. Let's see, where is the lava at? Damn, where is the lava at? I can't... Oh, there it is. Okay, so yeah, I went a little bit far into it. Now let's look over here at the right and take a look at this statue thing that I've never seen before. Hey, it looks like the Nerubians inside of here. Is this texture used in the dungeon? Maybe. I said I would run the dungeon before I did this, but I didn't. Oh man, I wasn't expecting this place to be this big. I can see why it was requested as something to look around at. Did Haven make a video on this? It seems like something he would, because this is way too big and juicy to not make a video on. I'll have to look it up after this to see if there's anything interesting I missed. Okay, so this is just like a empty building. It's a neat building and it's fully textured on the outside. And it's just like a back piece. Oh dang. Look at the place the dungeon actually takes place on. It's just a giant rock with so much stuff in the background. Let's look inside the giant rock. Surprising, there's nothing inside. There was water inside, I think. Oh, this little pool right here. Okay, so there's the entrance. And you come down here, you see all of these mushrooms, like off to the side that you can't interact with. And then you come over here, and then you go this way. I've actually done this dungeon a lot. The pulsing egg, which I never knew was pulsing. I assume you can go the other way as well. What's over here? Oh, this is where all the elementals are at, I think. I think I got lost again. It's just a fully textured on the outside room, which is empty on the inside, like everything else in here. Besides the main dungeon parts, and this place also takes place in a massive dungeon with a whole bunch of massive background. It's not painted, it's like the real thing. The last dungeon, the walls were painted to make it look bigger, and this one is just legit big. I wonder how many other dungeons are just actually fully textured in the background. Holy hell, it goes this far over here too. This is just the side of the dungeon. Let's look inside the mountain. Whoa, look at all that water. Wow, is that a unique mountain structure? Probably not. Whoa, look at this. It's cut off. It's like someone took a hot knife and just cut through it. And man, look at that. This place is so big. Note to self, if I ever want to make a machinima where I need a big open space with mountains in the background, this is where I'm gonna do it. I wonder if you can even jump down here in live. I think I'll try that. At the end of the video, I'll run through the dungeons in live and see if I can jump down. And then I'll record it if I'm able to. What? It goes on even further up here? Oh my god. I thought that would just be the end. Holy shit, it falls down again. This has gotta be the biggest dungeon in the game. Wow, this is just a reminder, this is just the side of the dungeon. The right side of it. I haven't explored the left or the back. Man. I'm gonna have to reset. This is too far away. Alright, I'm back at the entrance again. Man, the side of the dungeon is massive. I'm going to the left with all of the mushrooms. Oh, I think I already looked at the mushrooms before. Alright, to the left side. Left side actually doesn't look as big as the right. Or the back of the room. I mean the front. And, oh, nope, I was wrong. That goes on for a very long time. Oh my god. Does this never end? This room is too big. Man, this actually looks really nice too. I was thinking, man, this would also be a really good spot for a machinima. It's like the floor is nice and like straight, and there's mountains right here. If I ever need like a desert wasteland, Ahn'kahet is the place to go. And basically just go in one direction. You can just choose something. Man, I really wish I knew about it before. There was a machinima I did where I really needed like just blank wasteland, and I went into the alpha client for that. And even that wasn't that great. This one, holy crap. There's just a whole bunch of rocks and everything. I'm really liking this place. For the potential machinima locations. Because like I said, I have like the sandbox server and a machinima tool. Because this is how you get like background shots and stuff when you make machinimas. This is why you'd want a machinima tool. Because you can't get those kinds of footages in game, you know, normal ways. Okay, so the left side of the room is also massive. I think I'm just like going towards the back though. And if I go on top of here, will it go more? No, it doesn't go to like a second level like the right side of the room did. This one is a little bit smaller than the right side of the room, but still absolutely massive. And I've probably gone kind of towards the front, so I'm just gonna reset and then go look at the back. Alright, I reset. Now it's time to look at the back of the room. I already took a look at those buildings, there's nothing inside, and this is the back part. Okay, now let's take a look at the back. If I go inside the building, I'm gonna assume there's nothing in it. Yep, now let's look at the walls in the back of the room. Is it as massive as the front, the left and right side? Upon first look through, it doesn't look very big compared to the other ones. It actually seems like this is the end of the dungeon. Well, that's a relief. I've been in here for so long. Oh man, this place is too big. Front of the dungeon and the left and right side of the room are massive. The back kind of just has an end point. And if I go behind it, I am immediately shown a gigantic space in the back. It turns out the back of the room is also massive. Never mind. And holy crap, these are like the biggest walls yet. I don't think I've ever seen ones these big before. Whoa. This place just keeps surprising me. I thought I was like done. I was like, well, this is it for exploring Ahn'kahet, but nope. Oh my god, I've never seen this before. Wow. I mean, it's all like nothing here, but still the fact that these are so big. Man, these might be some like the biggest, like just straight walls I've seen before. Alright, and now I'm at the end of the room. Alright, so it looks like I'm just heading over to the left side of the room now, but this room is big. It is. It's so big. I've never seen a dungeon this big before, although I haven't really explored any other dungeons like this. I might have to do that now, since Ahn'kahet surprised me so much. Alright, what I'm going to do is head over into the live version and see if I can like jump off the edges. Because I think that's it as far as exploring Ahn'kahet goes. Looks like behind the dungeon, it's big. It's also massive and gigantic. It's probably the smallest part though, compared to the left and right side of the rooms. But it looks like the middle of the dungeon, where everything takes place, is like the tiniest part, and then just surrounding the whole place, it's gigantic. Okay, so that's it for exploring out of bounds of Ahn'kahet. Alright, now I'm in the live version of Ahn'kahet, the Old Kingdom, and if I look down into the mushroom place, it looks like there's a named NPC down there. I assume that's a boss, probably. I guess you can go down in there, and I just totally forgot about it because I haven't done this place in a while. Also, you can't jump off. It doesn't let you. I kind of knew that on some level, because I was like, I don't remember ever falling off this place before, despite there not being really any walls to speak of. Alright, I found the entrance to the mushroom place. Upon further looking, if I just look on the right side, it says bonus objective, and the name of the elemental guy, Monitar. I was like, yeah, that's why they have like this whole detailed mushroom thing over here, is because there's a boss over here that I totally forgot about. Because I mean, how many dungeon groups actually run the dungeon, the bonus boss? Not very many. That's how many people do it. A crossbow. Now I want to see if I can jump off the side over here, because I keep trying to jump off the sides, but it doesn't let me for some reason. But what if I go over here? Holy crap, it let me jump off. I guess you can jump off, it's just it kills you automatically, because that shouldn't have killed me. Yeah, it just takes you right back to the entrance. Okay, I just wanted to go over there and look at that. I think I'm done with this video. That was a lot of exploring. If you have any ideas what I should look at next, I was thinking about trying to look at Alterac Valley. No, not AV, AB. Well, Alterac Valley would probably be good too. Like one of the battlegrounds, because those ones you traditionally can't fly inside of. But I mean, other than those, I also have a couple other things I got written down. I got a lot of good suggestions in the last video. Stuff a lot more interesting than Orgrimmar's floors, that's for sure.